Hi, this is Grace from Modern Creatives Resource, and today I am going to give you a quick walkthrough of my favorite plugins, especially plugins that I find absolutely essential and I just can't do without. So we're just in the admin section or the back door of my website. So I'm just going to pop over here to plugins and give you a quick walkthrough. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through my plugins one by one and explain to you why I feel I really need them, why they're essential, and why they could benefit you. First of all, before I get started, usually it's a good idea to only have about 20 plugins, and the reason for that is because the more plugins you have, the slower your website will be to load up. So it can really slow your website down. Now, I have 22. So yeah, I might pop back later and get rid of 2, but I will be doing another video later about how to check how quickly your site is performing and how quickly it's loading up. A really slow site is something that will really put people off, and you don't want people actually being put off your website before they actually get a chance to see your landing page and sign up for what you have to offer. So anyway, let's get on with it. And the very first plugin that I have, because if you look, you'll see they put them in alphabetically. So the very first one I have is Akismet. It's either Akismet or Akismet. I'm not sure. But anyway, it gets rid of spam or monitors spam. I think it's absolutely awesome. I think it actually comes with your plugins. When you make a new website, there will be a couple of plugins that WordPress will already have installed, but you can get rid of most of those. But Akismet or Akismet is one that I would keep. The next one I have was suggested to me by the wonderful Jenny of WebTech Wonder Woman. It's the broken link checker. So it checks your blog for broken links and missing images and notifies you. So it's really handy if you linked someone else's blog and then they took it down or they moved it for some reason. So you'll be able to amend your own blog. It's also good for like if you just accidentally put a link in incorrectly, and it'll just send you a little notification saying, hey, this link is broken. So that is one that I love. Chimpy MailChimp WordPress plugin. I use MailChimp, as everyone probably knows by now. And I don't actually use this one, I think, at the moment, even though it's activated and everything. But basically, it does what it says in the tin. You just put in your MailChimp API key and you are ready to go. You can integrate your MailChimp into your WordPress website. The next one was again suggested to me by Jenny from WebTech Wonder Woman. Contact Form 7. It's really simple. It gives you a really simple and fabulous looking contact form. Okay, so here's my really simple contact form, and you can program it so it says different things. Mine says give us your lovely name, now you're smashing email, and then you can customize it to say whatever you want it to say. It's very simple. I have an image behind it that's parallax because I use the Enfold theme. So it's easy to install and simple to use. The next plugin I use is the Cookie Law Info. So it's a simple way of implied consent to show your website complies with the EU cookie law. So that's basically when someone will come to my page for the very first time, they will get a little message that pops up that says, this website uses cookies, is that okay? And then they select yes or no. If they select yes, it just closes down. And if they select no, then it just navigates away from the page as far as I know. But you can actually change that yourself in the settings. It's really simple to use. You can select where you want the cookie bar to be shown. Very, 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 very simple to use. The next plugin I have is EU Image Optimizer. And this is another essential one for me. It reduces the file sizes for images within WordPress. It optimizes your images for web use. If you know anything about images for web use already, you'll know the most important thing is keeping them small, but keeping the resolution high or good so that you can still see your images, but your website isn't actually slowed down by all the images. So this reduces the file size while keeping a good resolution. Okay, so another one I use quite often is Google Analytics Dashboard for WordPress. So it's basically hooked up to my own Google Analytics. Google Analytics is an absolutely amazing tool which can show you so much about your own website. It can help you to create better leads for your website. It can help you to sell your products better by understanding your audience, who visits your page, who you're attracting. There's a lot of in-depth work involved with Google Analytics, so I won't go into it in this video. It could have a whole video on its own, to be quite honest. The next plugin I have that I really love and adore is the Hello Bar. This was introduced to me by Gemma, the lovely Gemma of, I think, Jane and Filbert. So it's basically just a little bar that pops down, and it's just a sign-up bar, basically. So if you want people to sign up to your newsletter, it's free, handy, and if you pay for the premium version of it, you can really, really customize it. Now, this is a really handy plugin, which again was shared with me by Gemma. It's the P3 Plugin Performance Profiler, okay? You can install it and then it shows you which plugins are slowing down your site. If I click on scan now, so it gives me all the information that I need to know. I have 23 plugins, plugin load time, plugin impact of page load time, so it's like 45%. But basically, you can go through all these really detailed things, or you can just have a really quick look over here as well. So the plugin which is most affecting my page loading is like the WordPress SEO. To be honest with you, I don't think there is too much that I can do about that at the moment, because I need my SEO to get people to look at my page. But you can have a look here, and if there is anything that you don't really use, then you can just kick it to the curb, but I actually do use all of these. So that is extremely handy. So if you're trying to look for a way to speed up your page loading, then this is an absolutely fantastic plugin. And I'd just like to point out, while I'm here and I see it, I do have one broken link. Oh, the shame. Anyway, back to our plugins. Okay, so the next one I have is the Simple Share Buttons Adder. And it does exactly what it says in the tin. It's a simple plugin that enables you to add share buttons to all of your posts or pages. Very simple, very easy to use. Under that, I have a Twitter widget, which is just, again, add a sidebar widget to display Twitter updates. The next one I have, I would say, is an essential one. It's Updraft Plus Backup and Restore, okay? It is absolutely essential. It's a little bit, just tiny bit more complicated than your usual plugin, but it's still really easy to use. If we just have a quick look here, you can tell it how many versions of a backup to keep. In the settings, you can tell it how often it should back it up. Then copy your backup to remote storage. I have mine connected up to Dropbox, but the best option, I've been told, is to connect to Amazon S3. I haven't done that yet. I really should. The reason I have it connected to Dropbox is, quite frankly, because it's free. But I have an understanding that if you have all the stuff in Dropbox, it's good, but it's easier to put the site back together if it has a fit and dies, if everything is connected to Amazon S3. But I'm just going to leave it Dropbox for now. So basically, yeah, if anything does happen, you wake up in the morning, suddenly your site is gone, it'll be okay because you had it backed up with the Updraft Backup Restore plugin. My next plugin that I actually really love is Use Any Font. It's really simple and easy to use. I think you can offer to pay money towards it. I paid like a $5, and you can basically use any font you want at all. It doesn't have to be a Google font. The Verify Google Webmaster Tools, I had to install that to put in my Google Analytics plugin. W3 Total Cache. I'm going to say this is another one that the wonderful Jenny of WebTech Wonder Woman suggested to me, because I put it in and then I did nothing with it. I was just happy it was there. But when I look at it, it says the highest rated and most complete WordPress performance plugin. Dramatically improve the speed and user experience of your site. add browser page object and database caching, as well as minify and content delivery network to WordPress. Now, I'm not a programmer. I have like a basic understanding of programming, a bit of CSS, a bit of HTML. So I don't know exactly what this does, but basically, I think it just makes everything a little bit tidier, everything move a little bit faster. And if Jenny Jameson told me to put it in, I'm going to put it in, and that is the end of it. WordFence security. Everyone needs this, I think. I've been told by some programmers that it's a nightmare and people shouldn't put it in. But to be quite honest with you, my personal experience of it has stopped, oh my god, about at least 50 hacking attempts since I set up my site in January. You can pay for a premium version. I don't. I have the free version and it's absolutely amazing. WP Edit. I actually love WP Edit. It's very, very handy, and I'll go to a page now and actually show you what it does. I'll go to a post rather. So I'm just going to click on any post here. And if you look up here at my kind of toolbar, I guess, I just have lots of things popped into it that are really handy for me. When you get WordPress, you'll just have like the basic few things popped up in here. WP Edit lets you put in a lot more. Anyway, it comes with lots of little extra buttons that your normal WordPress editor wouldn't have, and then you can just drag them up into your button row, and then it will appear in your WordPress editor from now on. I'm just going to move that back. Absolutely very handy tool, and I love it. Google Fonts is just absolutely another plugin that I kind of feel I have to have. It's really, really handy for me because I don't like programming. So basically, I just find the font that I want. But you have to make sure it's a Google font. If you don't know what Google fonts are, you can Google them. Yeah. So go to Google Fonts. So Google Fonts, hundreds of free open sourced fonts optimized for web, okay? So you just run through and find the font that you want. So basically, if I go in here to my settings, you add a font. So you can add whichever font you want. And then you just pick, let's say, Abra Fat Face. You choose the style you want and the elements you want to assign it to. And then it should actually just work straight away. You'll be able to use it. It's really, 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 really handy, and I love it. Then the very last one I have is one that for me is essential as well. It's Yoast SEO. It's basically how to increase your SEO online, and it's really, 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 really simple. Like once you have it installed, when you go to, let's say, a post, I'll just click on this one. It's just so easy to use. So this is Yoast SEO. So basically, it helps you to improve the SEO on your website with focused keywords, titles, meta descriptions, and it'll tell you what to do. It'll tell you if you're being a bit crap, really. If you pick on page analysis, it'll tell you, down here is the good stuff, what you have done, and up here is like the crap stuff, which I haven't done. And you can learn from that how to make your own posts like really high SEO wise, and basically people will find them on the internet more often. Yeah, so that's it. That's exactly what I use in my website. So hope you enjoyed this little sneaky peek into the back of my website. I know it looks like there's a lot there, and yes, some of the plugins, I will be honest, do take a little bit of work just to set them up. But once you have them set up, besides updating them when they need updating, there really won't be much to do, and you'll find it an absolute breeze. If you found you enjoyed this free video tutorial by moi, Grace of the Modern Creatives Resource, don't forget to sign up to our newsletter via our main website. And if your newsletter needs pimping, you need to reach out to an audience, Don't forget to pop into our shop and have a look at our MailChimp Magic course. It'll get you reaching out to your audience in an authentic way in no time. Don't take my word for it, see what some of my students have to say.